So in this video, I want to talk about how to work on non-mechanics. So what does that mean? Well, I've played competitive golf since I was about 9. I'm 34 now. So I've been in this game for a while, and I've been competing in this game for a while, and I've been taking lessons and learning and going through the levels, and it's a a lifelong game, and I don't think anyone has ever mastered it, but we just keep trying to climb that mountain, keep going, keep trying to get better a little bit every day. That's why it's such a great game. And one of the issues that you sort of run into as a competitive golfer is you want to keep getting better all the time. You want to keep improving your swing, you want to keep improving your short game, your putting, your driving, your stats, all that stuff. You want to keep getting better. But you'll have a tournament next week, you have a tournament in 2 weeks, you got a tournament in 4 weeks, so when you go on the driving range and you're always in a place of like working on mechanics or trying to get better, trying to fix your swing, trying to learn your swing, trying to get your swing better, those types of things, you're just essentially training yourself to go out onto the golf course and be mechanical. So it's not to say that we can't work on mechanics or we should avoid mechanics because we don't want to be mechanical on the golf course. It's more about compartmentalizing and just knowing when you're in the lab working on your technique and knowing when you're on the golf course competing and trying to shoot the lowest score possible. So if you're gonna work on mechanics, you're gonna have to, we all are, but I would compartmentalize to the point where my mechanics are maybe more so in the gym. My mechanics are maybe more so into a net or into a simulator type of experience if I wanted to work on mechanics. But when I get to the golf course and I lace up my cleats, I want to be more of an athlete playing a sport out here on the field, rather than being a mechanic trying to figure things out all the time. I mean, how funny would it look if Tom Brady was just always worried about his right elbow position on the field, or if Derek Jeter was always working on mechanics. I mean, you can't see a 95-mile-an-hour fastball coming in if you're thinking a lot about what to do. So similarly, if we add thoughts, more and more thoughts, to this 1.5 seconds that the golf swing takes to perform, then what we're really doing is what's called stopping time. So when I'm hitting a golf shot, I want my mind to stay out the windshield of the car. I don't want my thoughts to be stuck in the car. When you're learning to drive, yeah, there's a lot to think about. You're learning, your thoughts are maybe more so in the car. But as you get better and better and better with your technique, your awareness starts to go more and more out the windshield, and you're thinking less and less about how to drive the car, you're just driving the car. So from an elite golfer perspective, I want my mind to stay kind of out on the target. I want my mind to stay on the flag or wherever I'm trying to hit the ball to as I'm performing the act. I want my golf swing to be reactionary to what I'm seeing out there. So if I'm adding more and more thoughts to the P1 to 10 region of the swing, then the second my mind goes to, okay, make sure your left wrist is flat at P3, it leaves the flag and goes to my left wrist at P3. So now I've stopped time. My mind stopped time at P3, and then I lose the fluidity of the movement. So the movement is no longer all the way to here based on there, it's stopped somewhere in here. So I've killed the flow. So if you get too mechanical, or if you're working a lot on mechanics, you need a way to work on non-mechanics. So I'm going to demonstrate what that would look like here. Jack Nicklaus had a great quote. He said, a well-struck golf shot is 50% a mental image of the shot, 40% setup, and then 10% swing. So you've got the greatest player of all time telling you that he put about a 9-to-1 emphasis on visualizing, seeing the shot out in front of him, and setting the shot up. If you can see the shot and you can set the shot up, then you want to kind of get to where the swing is, the easy part. There's no real thinking going on in the swing. So that's a practice in itself, to get to where you're giving yourself freedom to not really think at all during the swing, to just have your mind sit out on the flag, or have your mind sit out on the target, or wherever you're trying to hit the ball. You're not always aiming at the flag necessarily, but I want my mind to stay out the windshield. I don't want to get stuck in the car with all these thoughts. But that's not to say you're not going to work on mechanics, because you need to. A lot of us need to a lot. I have a lot to work on. But if I have to prep to go play a golf tournament, then I'm going to be more cognizant of the P0 to P1 region of the swing, rather than the P1 to P10 region of the swing. When I'm in the lab working on mechanics, I'm all in on the P1 to 10. Let's get it dialed. But then when I come out here on the field, I want to be more in the, as far as using my thinking mind, I want to be more in the, processing with my mind. It's not that thinking's bad, it's just that you got to utilize it to your advantage. So when you're thinking in golf, the thinking's more in the visualization and in the setting up and in the weighing of my options. Okay, where's the wind? Okay, where's the front edge yardage, back edge yardage? What's out there? What's in trouble? What are my distances? I'm coming up with a decision. That's what I'm using my mind for. And now once I've made a decision, once I'm kind of good to go, okay, that's what I want to do, and my gut's telling me that's right, my heart's telling me that's right, then now it's about, just committing. Now that's not to say you can't pull an audible or come off the ball or have the wind change, or because it is a fluid environment. But from a playing golf perspective, I want to be way more in the P0 to P1 world in terms of thought. Once I've made a decision, now the thinking mind starts to kind of quiet down a little bit. So I try to turn that channel down, or turn that, like if you think about like old school radios, like changing the frequency, I'm trying to tune that one down a little bit and turn up my guts, turn up my heart, turn up that little kid saying, let's go, bring it. So if we're working on non-mechanics, it would look like this. I'm going to start off by seeing a shot. Then I'm going to walk in and set that shot up. Because honestly, how can I know my setup without even having something visualized first? And then once I've committed, I want my mind to stay out there on the flag. And I just want to react to where I'm going. No thought in the middle of the swing. Zero. Just trust your ability, trust your swing, trust your rhythm, trust your balance. See the shot, set the shot up, leave the mind out there.